Do you want to know how to save the planet from Armageddon? Step 1. Freeze Bruce Willis. Step 2. Thaw Bruce Willis when necessary. This is Space News. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Space News. We are so sorry we took some time off, but we are back. We hope you had a good Memorial Day, because it was Memorial Day. You should have celebrated with astronauts and things like that. Anyway, speaking of crazy Memorial Day, where there's usually a Hollywood blockbuster film, one such film you might remember is Armageddon. And that is actually based on what could possibly be a real thing that could happen here on Earth someday.
With many stretches.
With many stretches. But in particular, both NASA and ESA are working together to try and actually prevent such an event from happening here on Earth. So one thing that they're doing is they're joining up for the Asteroid Impact Deflection Assessment, which is a mission where it's composed of two parts. There's the ESA part, which is AIM, the Asteroid Impact Mission, where they will send a small, satellite with a rover attached to it to a binary asteroid named, what was it called? Didymus?
Didymus, yes.
Didymus, affectionately known as Didymoon by scientists, apparently. They will send this thing around orbit to this asteroid around 2020. That's when it's launching. It'll observe, it'll study, and then it'll put a little lander on, basically like Rosetta and Philae. And then 2 years after that, NASA's part in the project, DART, which is I know, it sounds ridiculous.
Is much more of an American-style mission.
Yeah.
Where it will have an impactor that isn't a controlled lander, but just shoots straight at it and punches the asteroid.
Just like Bruce Willis would do. The purpose of this will actually help them do assessments on the impact crater from before and after and how much has actually impacted the orbit of this asteroid. And this is great news, because if we know how much we have to impact such a thing to divert its orbit or whatever, then we can send a nuke or Bruce Willis to save us if this were ever going to be a problem. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad to see that we're actually starting to take ideas from Hollywood now for actual NASA missions. It's exciting stuff.
One mission at a time.
Next up is this cool little project done by a student named Oscar Pernfeld.
Pernfeld.
No, there's an L in there.
Pernfeld. Pernfeld. At Beckman's College of Design.
In Stockholm, so apologies if we pronounced your name incorrectly. So this is a student project. He actually designed an international flag for the planet Earth. Because if you think about it, all future projects to Mars, back to the Moon, even the International Space Station are going to require international cooperation.
It will probably be so expensive that it'll require an international collaboration.
Right.
So this flag is very much inspired by the Olympics, it looks like, with the interlocking circles.
Well, so there's 7 circles, which I'm assuming they didn't. There's a video. We'll put a link in the description below about it. That says there's 7 rings. They don't say what they stand for, but I'm assuming it's the 7 continents.
Yeah.
And then it's on a blue background because blue represents all the water that we have on the planet. And it has to be a specific type of blue so that you can see it on the black background of space and the white background of a spacesuit. And there's some great pictures, great concepts of how this looks on spacesuits, and it looks really convincing. I mean, I like the idea. Mm-hmm. And Kevin, did you know that there's actually a scientific study of flags? It's called vexillography. There's an actual whole thing. Vexillography, where people actually study flags, and that's what this student actually incorporated some of the actual science behind flags into his project. It's really cool. Thus far, it has not been adopted by NASA or ESA or anybody yet, but
it's getting people talking.
Right, and it could be a real thing. And we're not going to Mars for another 20 years almost. So, 16, 18 years, but whatever. At that point, we might actually have this thing up and running. It's exciting stuff.
Now, in launch news, we've had the launch of the X-37B, which is an Air Force. Basically, it's a drone that can go into space. It very much looks like a miniature space shuttle in that it has the delta wing design and a payload bay where it keeps its solar panels and whatever top secret experiments they may want to have.
Yes.
Now, the X-37B launches, actually, they keep outpacing each other, 200 days, 400 days, 600 days.
Yep.
They keep going for longer and longer. And so no one really knows how long this is going to be.
Right. But there is one of the payloads on the X-37B. It's actually NASA.
Well, it wasn't launched inside the X-37B, but it was like a collection of CubeSats.
Oh, yeah.
Next to the...
There's another payload inside X-37B, though. That's called the Materials Exposure and Technology Innovation in Space project, which is actually inside to test how long certain materials can survive in space and what the effects of space would be on these materials. which they've done a similar study on the International Space
Right.
Station.
So like space armor for whatever Air Force stuff they want to do.
Whatever, secret stuff you do up in space. But the CubeSats, yes.
And then the CubeSats that are kind of like behind the X-37B in the full rocket configuration where it was launched. One of the 10 that was launched with the 37 is LightSail A, which is the test article for the full LightSail that'll go up next year, which is Bill Nye's Solar Sailor design.
Mm. So, it's a smaller version of it, right? And it's just meant to go up there and test make sure the technology is going to work. And if everything goes well, then it's even, they're on track for, they already have the money. Yes. They're on track for making the larger version, upscale version for next year's launch where, we can all sort of participate in one way or another. That's really exciting stuff.
Yep.
In other news, you can get shirts and swag. Not just shirts anymore. We also have mugs, and you can get skirts. Yeah, we got skirts and travel mugs and pencil cases
and pillows
and I think there's even, you can get comforter for your bed. Anything you want, you can get over at our Redbubble page under Archimedes. That's all down there in the doobly-doo description thing. Otherwise, thank you for watching.
Thanks.
And we'll see you out there.
Thanks for watching today's video. You can like and subscribe down below, as well as comment on all the different subjects that we talked about today. You can find other content elsewhere on the internet, so look for those links. You can also watch a random video of our channel right here. Thanks for watching.